What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pokemon Masters Council. I'm your host, Gym Leader Justin. I got my co-host, Zero. Welcome to another How to Use guide. Today, we're talking about the samurai himself, the sitting Shogun. That's right, Bisharp got the evolution of a lifetime, and we're here to talk about him, King Gambit. What's up, Zero? How you been, buddy?
Hey, I've been good. I'm excited to talk about this Pokemon that honestly probably didn't need to exist. But here we are, we're talking about
I know,
an evolution.
dude, Bisharp is so good, and then they evolved him. Brandon's like, his mind is blown.
Yeah, why did they give a bona fide OU Pokemon an evolution? Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this one.
So crazy. I like him. So let's talk about aesthetics for a sec. He is sitting on his hair. It's a bit weird, but you know, at the end of the day, he is a big samurai. I do like the fact that he's got blades everywhere. It's kind of cool. It reminds me of Shredder. So, this guy is... What's his role on the squad, Zero? He is a bruiser, but mainly he's like an offensive powerhouse, right?
Yeah, this Pokemon actually has like a lot of things going for it. And like when we kind of move on to the stats and we show you those, Pokemon actually has like a couple stats that aren't very good. One of them is completely irrelevant. And the other one, his worst stat actually kind of also becomes irrelevant when we talk about the tech and some of the speed control options that this Pokemon has. You'll kind of learn that 50 speed, not always relevant as well.
Yep. But we are actually going to be able to show off all of the goodies. We're going to be able to show off the pluses and the minuses. So let's talk about it. He is still Dark Steel, same as Bisharp, the exact same typing all the way through the line. Really good typing, actually, especially in this generation. Two of the best offensive typings in the game. Like, it's insane.
Absolutely, just sandwiched into one, and you know, that Dark Steel combo weak to a lot of priority moves, but we do have Terastallization at our disposal.
Yep, well, and the fact that we have access to a stab Sucker Punch now, it's, you know, because again, Bisharp always had Sucker Punch, so we knew this guy the second we saw his stats. Let's read through it, Brandon. What do we got here, buddy?
So we're looking at 100 base HP. That's really, really good.
That's insanely good.
Right out the gate. The big one you guys are looking at, the base 135 attack with that crazy dual stab.
Wow, that is insane. That's, for people that don't know, that's Garchomp level.
Absolutely. And then we're looking at 120 defense. This
Massive.
is just really, really crazy.
That's
and
Donphan's defense.
Look at my boy Justin here with all the obscure references. All right, Justin, who has 60 base special attack?
I know this. Leafeon.
No way, bro. Does it really have 60?
Yeah, he's because 60 and 65 are the two low ones for the evolution. They all have the same stats. It just gets switched around.
Dang, dude, my boy. All right, 85.
And I'm a grass gym leader. Come on now.
All right. I didn't mean to challenge you, bro. So 85 special defense, pretty solid, especially when you consider that 100 base HP.
Yeah, it's actually very workable.
Then we got the 50 speed that we talked about a little bit earlier. So
this 50 speed is actually interesting because this is it. Like, any slower than this, and you're never a Tailwind user at all. For people that don't know, you can actually still run the max speed in the Tailwind, and you will get some benefit. And we will talk about that when we get into the sets. He's right on the line. And if you don't invest, he's, again, right on the line where he, you know, any faster, and he starts to be a little bit too fast to really be a Trick Room Sweeper, too. So he can do both. But he's right on that line. Super fine line at 50. So very, very, very strong Pokemon. He does have some incredible stats, great typing. Let's talk about his abilities. We have Defiant, Supreme, Overlord, and Pressure. So, Zero, what does Pressure do?
Pressure, your opponent's moves take 2 PP rather than 1, which is great on stalled Pokemon, especially Pokemon with access to recovery options like Roost Corviknight.
And Defiant.
Defiant. If any of your stats are lowered by your opponent's abilities or attacks, you gain a +2 in your physical attack.
And then this new one, Supreme Overlord. When the Pokemon enters a battle, its attack and special attack stats are slightly boosted by 10% for people that don't know, for each of the allies in its party that have already been defeated. So any slain allies, so in VGC context, let's say you come in at the end of the game and there's 2 dead allies. When you enter the battle, you'll gain 20% for the 2 knocked out ally Pokemon. And then it caps at a 1.5 boost, so you can cap obviously at 5 dead allies in a 6v6 singles match.
In a vacuum, say you're in a 3v3 setting, 20% doesn't sound like a lot if this is your last Pokemon. However, when you consider the sheer amount of attack this Pokemon has, all these things kind of work exponentially. So that +2 is actually really, really strong because the attack stat is so high. I also want to say before we move on to the sets, Justin, I had to double check you just because I was curious. Leafeon does have 60 base special attack. Everybody leave a like for Gym Leader Justin's random grass Pokemon knowledge right now.
Thanks, buddy. So this first set that we have here, you can see we are running the Supreme Overlord and this item, the Clear Amulet.
Yeah, Clear Amulet is just a really nice way to ensure that your stats aren't going anywhere, especially defensively. Defensively, this is kind of where the Pokemon, he shines in a lot of different places, but you don't want your stats being lowered on your defensive side because that's one of his strongest suits.
Yeah.
So just kind of Clear Amulet is just like a really safe insurance policy.
Definitely. You're not going to outspeed everything, right? If other people are in a Tailwind, they're still going to outspeed you. If they've got a Scarf or something, there might be a super fast case scenario where, or if they have like a weather boosted type thing with like Swift Swim or, et cetera, they're still going to be able to outspeed you. But what it will give you is the option to actually make this a fast Pokemon. And you're not really losing anything. You're still hitting super, super hard. Your Clear Amulet means your stats can't be dropped. This guy's going to be very, very strong in those niche scenarios where you need or want to run something like a Clear Amulet or even a Lumberry, because things love to try to intimidate or to burn Kingambits. That's actually a very common way to get rid of him in the format right now.
Yeah. So why don't you go over the moves here really quick? What do we got going for the moves in the Terra type?
Yeah, so this is actually going to be the same moveset as the second one, just swapping out abilities, basically, between showing the versatility of the powerhouse of this set, while, but still being able to differentiate between the 2 abilities, one being the Supreme Overlord, and the second one here being Defiant. So, as you can see, we have Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Kowtow Cleave, Terra Blast, Protect, Sword Stance. So there's a lot of... You can kind of interchange that any way you like. Does that make sense? Like, there's sort of like 6 moves here, and you just pick which of the 6 you kind of want in which order. That's sort of how we do it here.
Yeah.
Because he fits a lot of niches. So we're going to go Terra Flying. Why is that, Zero?
Well, Kingambit is a Pokemon that pretty much tears exclusively for defensive purposes. Because you don't want to be taking that ×4 weakness to fighting. It's a very common offensive type, and it leaves you weak to Mach Punch. So Terra Flying, Terra Ghost is pretty common too, but I personally think that Terra Flying is the way to go. But it makes you resist fighting, which otherwise is a very, very big problem for Kingambit. And another reason is that puts us as a flying type. Obviously, we can't get destroyed by choice-banded Terra Ground Garchomp.
Yeah, and he's kind of everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah. Top 5 in usage?
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
3 at this point? Yeah, super, super high.
I want to give a special shout out for one of the niche kind of PMC hot tech here. So, Sucker Punch, Iron Head are pretty much your best stab. Your dual stab combination. Kowtow Cleave is the new one. So basically, he bows and then he headbutts you with his big giant rhino sword horn thing. And it can't miss, and I think it has a high crit rate too. But it can't miss, so that's pretty cool. The Sucker Punch is obviously amazing. Like, you don't want to leave home without Sucker Punch. He's gonna get outsped by things, and it's so strong. 135 base stab Sucker Punch. Even if you do Terra Flying, you still maintain the stab from being originally a dark type. So Sucker Punch is incredibly powerful. It gives you those clutch Okos. Iron Head, very, very, very strong. Sylveon is everywhere in the meta. Kowtow Cleave is very good for having something that isn't reliant on, obviously Sucker Punch, they have to be clicking an attack move, so it helps you helps you kill things like supports or tanks. Terra Blast is great. He also won a special shout out. He does get things like Aerial Ace if you do come across Brandon's favorite attack, which is all this Minimize.
Oh, great. Yeah, I love that.
But Aerial Ace at least can't miss. Same with Kowtow Cleave. And it'll give you a nice flying type attack buff. So really, really strong there. You can do it with the triple stab, dark, steel, and flying. He also gets Swords Dance. Really, really good. In VGC, if you can maybe pair him with some Redirection, Follow Me, or Rage Powder. Otherwise, Protect is great. Protect 3 attacks is actually what I've been running on a couple different squads. I think it's really, really strong. But I never leave home without Max Attack.
Me either.
That to me, I think, is the staple.
I think you always run Max Attack unless you want to run the special tech and a Tailwind, like we had mentioned before, to get you ahead of Dragapult. I think Max Attack is just always the way to go because you have Sucker Punch to rely on. If you're good with your head games and you're good at landing those Sucker Punches, it doesn't matter. Just go Max Attack.
And on this last set, we're showing off the fact that we don't actually have to worry about the speed. With the other two, we had the option, like I said, we could do Trick Room, could do Tailwind, there's a lot of options. And he's right at the cusp. But this one, we're showing off the bulky set with that AV. 100 HP, 120 defense, and 85 Spec D. You know I'm going to show you with the Assault Vest set 0.
Absolutely.
So, with Assault Vest, obviously, I think it's without... You can run Supreme, you can run Pressure, but I think Defiance is the best here.
Yeah, especially in VGC. I think Supreme Overlord can definitely work in the 3v3 or a single scenario. But Defiant, I think, in VGC is definitely the way you're going to want to go.
Yeah. We're going to go Adamant. You can also go Brave if you're on a team that's Trick Room. Otherwise, it's max HP, max attack, and some Spadef on the end, right? Pretty simple, straight across the board. Terra Flying or alternatively Terra Dark for those Sucker Punches because we're slow, but pretty much Terra Flying here because we're a defensive set, so we want to make sure that we're as set up for that as possible with our typing as well. And not a whole lot different with the moveset here, but we are adding on the fact that he does get access to things like Stone Edge and Brick Break. Really, really, really nice coverage. Give him either rock or fighting. And then Zero, you had a couple of things to add on for a bulky lead. Obviously, you would take off the Assault Vest, maybe run something like Citrus Berry or Leftovers.
Yeah, so one of the sets that I've been running in the 3v3 singles setting is I'm running the Terra Flying, and I'm kind of taking those same 3 first moves as always. So we're going Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Kowtow Cleave. I've actually been running Stealth Rock in my last set. This Pokemon presents a lot of pressure, especially early.
Might force a switch.
Yeah, you force switches, hit him with the Kowtow Cleave. If you've got a good read on your opponent, maybe they've got something like Dragapult out. That's an easy Stealth Rock or Kowtow Cleave right there because they're usually just going to switch out. And then, say you see that Dragapult again in the end game, that's an easy Sucker Punch. So I've been doing that. I've been running Supreme Overlord. I also run the Black Glasses if the Leftovers or Citrus Berry is on a different member of my team, and the Black Glasses gives a boost to Dark type moves. So you're just bolstering those Dark type attacks with Black Glasses and Supreme Overlord.
Well said, well said. So it's pretty interesting right now. He fits in really, really nicely into this meta. The Assault Vest set does really well, even after the Throat Spray is applied. He does really well into Sylveon right now. Even if she Terra Fires, you just Terra Flying, and with the AV, and then you just Iron Head her right in the face. if she, in case she doesn't Terra Fire. If she does Terra Fire, she'll absorb that Iron Hand next turn. You either Sucker Punch or Kowtow Cleave and KO.
Yeah, I think this Pokemon's sitting in a really good spot. I think it's going to be relevant for a long time, even with the prevalence of so many good fighting types. But
it's the base 135 Sucker Punch.
Yeah, like I think the only meta that this Pokemon might struggle in is a meta where, like say in the future, we get Rapid Strike style Urshifu. I think that'll be like the one kind of meta where this Pokemon might shift down a little bit. But once we get, I still think even in a restricted format, this Pokemon's going to be pretty decent. So I think you're going to see this Pokemon for a long time throughout the span of Generation 9.
I couldn't agree more, man. He's here to stay. I love the way he looks regularly with the red samurai armor. I like the blue samurai armor with the shiny. Which one's your favorite?
I gotta go with the red, buddy.
I knew you would. Red's your favorite color, so I get it. I get it. So that's going to be it from us today. We really appreciate all the support that we've been getting lately. If you stayed to the end of the video, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel while we are on this grow to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there, buddy. We're almost at 600 subscribers on the day of this recording, and we're really, really happy about it. Special shout out, special thank yous.
Yeah, man, totally agree. Just want to say, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for supporting us, and look forward to some more great Pokemon content for a long time to come.
If you guys appreciate all of the how to use guys, hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, make sure you hit the bell to stay up to date with all of our new set guides and battles on the video while we close out Series 1. And until next time, I'm Gym Leader Justin.
Then I'm Zero.
Council's adjourned.